hoping against hope. They're bottom of the table. Of course, if they win here, Wakefield drop to the bottom. And then isn't the pressure on Warrington under new coach Paul Cullen, who go to Widnes on the morrow. And if Paul Cullen is listening tonight, everyone on the Sky Sports team wishes him all the best for his first match in charge in the Super League.
I don't think Carl Harrison and Shane McNally will be supporting that somehow.
I don't think Neil Kelly will either, but Paul Cullen beginning life as the 12th Super League coach of the year, and of course the 4th new coach at Warrington in the past 12 months. We're underway at the Willows. Holroyd has the kick-off, and at 8-all, it's tight as a drum, which is exactly what we predicted.
It certainly is, Eddie, and I mentioned the fact that Wakefield, their composure. Oh, it's a great break.
Superb break this is, and it's Reardon, and Holland did well, stood his ground. Reardon to his feet, Alker, here they come, the cavalry has arrived. Coley still, and eventually hauled down in the corner. Danny Arnold at dummy half. Blakely, Holroyd, and Holroyd, well, Salford have just lost their way for a moment. They were all standing still. It's a carbon copy of the first half this. Salford with the ascendancy. Big hit.
A knock on. Good work from Dion Bird.
And the referee will put the scrum down.
It'll be head and feed. Great work from that fella.
He saved the day there for Wakefield.
Did he ever? Look how he went right underneath it. Great tackle. That's been the problem with the Salford outfit in that first half. They had 16 missed tackles. It was a wonderful break though, wasn't it? And then they made a bit of a meal of it in the end. As Eddie mentioned, they took a while to get themselves sorted out. Well, half a grin on the face, or is it a grimace?
Oh, I don't think it's a grin, not yet.
You know, it's a golden opportunity.
Well, he was talking with us last night about chances and what might have been. Aggravation and hassling around the base of the scrum there by Blakely.
Well, to be
did
fair,
really well.
It was out. If it gets behind the loose forward's feet, then it's a fair game. And it was because they had the push and it was out. Davis made a real meal of it, got away with it in the end.
Salford hunting a mistake here, and this is Slattery.
You can see the introduction of David March from the bench. So this has been a reshuffle in this Wakefield outfit.
Moana gets the ball wide. This is Gareth Ellis. It takes 3 to bring him down. Solitabour, it's on the last here. Davis with the kick, and that would be difficult in this sunshine. It's setting, and that's a wonderful chase from Dion Bird. Wonderful chase, and well, Reardon was the man tackled in possession. Wonder what was said in those dressing rooms at half-time. Bet there were tense talks from the coaches. Rod Studd.
Very tense in both camps. Shane McNally and Adrian Vowles using 3 words repeatedly in the dressing room, Eddie. Discipline, discipline and discipline, both in attack and defence. They want to see more control and no penalties. Carl Harrison, their Salford counterpart, preaching patience. That's the key to winning this game, particularly near the try line. We've already seen an error on the try line by Salford in the second half. He wants them to avoid being anxious. And as well as it's being tight and tense, it is very warm. And Salford are being told to get back to basics and play the percentages.
Well, Carl Harrison watching there as Graham Holroyd put in a 40-20 attempt, and it just hit the corner flag, and in this game corner flag is out.
Yeah, they caught the full-back Martin Holland out there. His positional sense in the first half was excellent. And Graham Holroyd will be irritated by that. Just the throw of the dice, isn't it? You need a little bit of luck in this game.
This is March. Oh, he's away from Blakely. Can't get away from Alker, though. He was the big hit man last year in the Super League, Malcolm Alker. He led the stats on tackles made. He almost made another one then. That will probably go down as a miss. This is Gareth Ellis. Now it's with Broadbent. Alker again. Tell you what, Malcolm Alker leads by example, doesn't he?
Certainly does. He knows how to tackle, and he goes low nearly on every occasion.
Davis, that's a great hanging kick. This is a tester for Damien Gibson. He's come up, he's knocked it on. I thought he had. Got to it, but lost it and regained it.
It's a mistake, wasn't it? Andrew Frew got into the face of the full-back.
Wonderful kick, though, from Davis.
He got plenty of height on it. That allowed the chance for the winger Frew to get into a position to just put the full-back off. Those fingertips to it. Now then, will Wakefield, with Vowles now packing in his normal position. At loose forward, will they come up with a set pattern?
Martin Moana taking them on. Maloney standing firm with Holroyd. Here's Gareth Ellis, and they stood back. Did the Salford defence allowed him to gain the momentum? This is a great opportunity for Wakefield. Knott was running sideways, and Alan Hunt forced him to the ground. March to Davis to Broadbent. Broadbent just delayed, and delayed fatally. Davis again. Moana running the angles. Dion Bird hits it at pace.
What a tackle there.
Wainwright and Maloney.
Yeah.
Moana again. Stabs the ball towards the in-goal area. Holroyd does well. Oh, and March has got the ball back.
No, as soon as you put your hand on, doesn't matter. As soon as you put your hand on the top foot plate, then you sculpt it out to penalty. The man's down.
Well, big call.
And then he sculpts
Yep.
it a split second later.
And the tackle is complete as soon as he touched it. Yeah. And pushing out. He pushed it out anyway, but the tackle was complete. It's a big call though from Russell Smith. A lot of inexperienced referees perhaps may have been confused, but not this fella. Well, I said midway through that first half, he's controlling things exceptionally well. But good positioning though by Graham Holroyd. Anticipated that sort of kick.
Well, we've often used this term. It's an arm wrestle here tonight. And he's lost the ball. Vowles, a big hit. And this is Andrew Frew. He thought he was away then.
It certainly was.
And I think Greg Eberl has got a nasty cut.
Well, Adrian Vowles went straight in, and look at the claret running out there. Oh. We know how tough he can be, and it was a head-on collision. And Vowles just got up as though a mosquito had tapped him. Not the other way. As you can see, Greg Eberl in a lot of trouble.
Yes, he leaves the field, and Wakefield come forward with Paul Jackson. Alca's down.
Claims for the forward pass there. The crowd a bit incensed over that.
Slattery to March. Here's Adrian Vowles.
Get up and quickly.
That's a blood bin, Gareth Price. And Davis fancies a one-pointer.
And he's got it.
He has. Brad Davis gets the one-pointer that inches Wakefield ahead.
Quick thinking. He's been around a while, hasn't he, Brad Davis? It's not the only reason why he's been selected as the skipper of this Wakefield outfit. And he'll be a little bit more relieved now. You've got to take the chances when you know you're in an arm wrestle. If it's there, don't waste it.
Well, Brad Davis kicked a drop goal in the win at London a few weeks ago. A win at London that came out of the blue.
But as long as they don't do what Lee Breers did at Halifax for Warrington, kept getting the 1 point, then forgot about tackling and lost the game in the end.
Yes, but I suppose in many ways the fact that Breers got 5 drop goals that night was symptomatic of the fact that Warrington just weren't in the mood on that occasion to take the chance and take it to the next level and put in a play or two that might have just secured the victory via a couple of tries.
Yeah, well, it's obviously a planned move, and I'm sure that McNally would have got the work to him.
Dion Bird on the break. He's got Davis in support. Oh, he should have passed.
What on earth has he done that for?
Well, it might not be all up yet, but here comes Moana for Wakefield. He hands it on to Knott.
Oh, that is a bomb try. Dion Bird. We've seen his praises, but he got shot out of the air.
This is the last tackle for Wakefield. And it's with Moana. And he hoists the bomb. Holland is underneath this. He claims it, dumps the ball back. It's picked up by Andrew Frew. Andrew Frew spinning towards the sideline, and he's over the sideline. Well, what an opportunity Wakefield have spurned there.
Well, he had the man on the inside. What on earth has he done that for? Damien Gibson did everything right. You always take the man that's carrying the football. And the Salford defence was quick, Reardon leading the way, but he knows inside that mind that he has blown it. And that really could cost them dearly.
Well, was that a question of Dion Bird going for glory himself?
Well, he threw the dummy.
He's not penalised now for not standing square. The pressure eases on Salford.
Yeah, you could see him just took a step whilst the ball was being played.
All it needed was the pass to Davis from Bird, and they're in under the post. Look at Well, Wakefield's heads could sink, and the Salford City Reds, who are in possession here with Paul Southern, that could really have lifted them in a strange sort of way. Wainwright, off to Alka, back to Southern. Tackling in this match has been ferocious. Oh, David March. Well, he's hit the deck as though he's been felled by a sledgehammer. Alka, Holroyd, stabs the ball towards the in-goal area. Oh, mistake behind his own line.
Oh, he gets to it in the end. It'll be a dropout.
Andrew Frew nearly cost his side dear.
It was a neat chip through. Maloney put it under pressure, and the winger finally got there. But
the Wakefield fans are going potty.
Well,
and Brad Davis has pointed out, as Andrew Frew just takes a breather, but Brad Davis points out that March is down, and he went down as though he'd been hit by something.
Well, to be fair, I never saw it.
Well, I think Southern shot the hand up.
They did, but I think we've got a little bit of a...
Is that an Academy Award?
Yeah. Well, not quite the Academy Award, maybe the runners-up. He was in the category of the backward flip with half pike. He certainly lashed out. It should have been a penalty. But I'm afraid March... Oh! Well, we saw Michael Smith do that a few weeks ago at Castleford.
Yes.
He got a knock, and then 4 seconds later decided that someone else had hit him with an elephant gun.
And he got the penalty, if I remember rightly, on that occasion. This is Southern here.
But to be fair, March should have earned the penalty for that.
Blakely, Gibson.
Well, didn't this man save the day? Okay, Dion Bird should not have thrown the dummy, but the fullback did everything right. If a man's with a football, you can't be blamed if he offloads. You take the man that's carrying the football at all times.
Alka to Blakely, and Blakely to Andy Coley.
Great tackle from Bowles.
Last tackle here, Alka, Blakely again, Holroyd, and Holroyd just dropping the shoulder. They went for the power play, and it didn't come off. This Wakefield defence stands firm again.
Well, he's such a good short kicker as well as Graham Holroyd. I'm surprised that he went for glory there rather than apply the pressure. We keep talking about getting the sets as 6. If you get them consecutively, it really puts the power on your side.
Well, a hot summer's evening at the Willows, and two sides here and two coaches who are living on the edge of their nerves.
And we're approaching that time in the game when hot conditions starts taking its toll.
Bowles, though.
They start slipping off the tackles. The gaps widen.
Davis just pumps the ball over the touchline on the far side. Safety first. They'll hunt the mistake.
Good thinking as well. Play the percentages. He knows that there's been quite a few errors throughout this game. Sweaty palms and breezy ball. And they'll apply the pressure, I am sure, even though it'll be the head and feet to the Salford Reds. But I just get the impression now, Eddie, that it's what's left in the tank on either side.
Well, they've put in a great effort, both of them.
They certainly have, but both tanks have been leaking of late.
It isn't the classic that we saw last night, but you can't fault either side, Phil, for effort and endeavour and spirit.
No, they're certainly given everything they have, and that's probably to be expected. I think that really Salford have lifted really and matched this Wakefield side. And, you know, I don't think it should be too hard on Dion Byrne for not passing the ball to Brad Davis. I believe it's one of the easiest games to watch, but one of the hardest games to play at times.
Oh, here to that, there's no doubt. But I think if it had got the ball away to Davis, Wakefield would by now have a 7-point lead, and that could be so critical to their survival.
Well, I've just found out why Phil Clark doesn't want to become a coach.
Here's Holroyd, they're on the last, Salford, and Holroyd's running it and dubs it off the outside of the boot. He finds touch now.
It's like a game of chess at the moment. Just trying to prize open the mistake. So tense out there. Both sides, they're yelling at each other. Filling here, filling that gap, trying to urge each other just to get that little bit of extra effort.
Well, I think Mr. Clark would like the right of reply, Steve-O.
Go away, Phil.
It's not the right of reply to Steve-O, really, but it's a comment that Steve-O made, really, about neither side really be able to mount or build much pressure on their opponent's line with forcing a goal line dropout. I think probably the area of the game that both of these coaches will probably feel as though they've been weak in today is their fifth tackle option, getting the best kick in, really. We haven't seen any 40-20s, we haven't seen any goal line dropouts, and really a lot of kicks have just rolled without putting any pressure on their opponents.
Yes, fair point. Here's Davis. He's putting pressure on Salford every time he has the ball in hand. He's 34 years of age, and he's the key man, is Brad Davis, if Wakefield are to survive.
Well, his kicking game will certainly take its impact and reach the final quarter.
Chris Feather on the charge.
Good effort
Almost
as well.
certainly will be operating in the colours of Leeds Rhinos next year. There's Davis with a little dab over the top. That's a good option. But Gibson, he read the script well, and the Welsh international skips away from the would-be tackler.
And
Can't get away from Gareth Price, though. Gareth Ellis, though.
But he had the presence of mind not to offload. That's where the mistakes can come. He was in a good position, took that ball, avoided Brad Davis. It was a last-minute lunge. But it's as though they're just trying to force a mistake out of each other than do something exciting.
Liam Watson then got the pass in. There he is, the number 31, Welsh international. He's been put out there maybe to just spark them up around the ruck. And Holroyd now on the dab over the top in between winger and full-back. Holland is after this, and the full-back gets to it. Wainwright and Holroyd with the tackle. Now it's Salford's turn to hunt the mistake from Wakefield.
A bit like tennis, isn't it? Rush one out, apply the pressure, good defence, then try to get the kick. It's all a matter of gaining the superiority out on that field of play.
Andrew Frew for Wakefield.
That was a swinging arm from Neil Baines. It could have been interpreted by the referee that going for the face, got away with it.
They'd be glad to see him back out there, Baines, because they were certainly more effective earlier in the piece.
Well, he
Baines was driving it in.
Created the first try and set it up for Blakely. Solid run.
This is the last tackle, and here's Davis again. This time the kick straight into the arms of Gibson.
It was a poor one. He'll be displeased with that, Brad Davis. Well, he's working hard in defence, trying to make up for it. They look very tired, both sides, don't they?
Coley helped out then, because Coley stood in the way of Reardon.
They're struggling, both sides, to get back the 10.
Hunt.
And this is where runs from dummy half can be so important. We haven't seen many from both sides from that position.
Watson, that's a good ball. Here goes Malcolm Alker. Treacy wants it wide and gets it wide. This is Danny Arnold. He gets inside Salford, and Arnold scores for Carl Harrison's Salford City Reds. Watson was pitched on to unlock the Wakefield defence, and that's exactly what he did then with that little scampering run and pass. Danny Arnold's try.
It's all about utilising your service to the full effect, and he certainly did that. Back on the inside to the hooker. Alka kept his cool. Oh, it's a great combination. Nice step off the left, back on the inside. They were always going to stretch the defence. And once it went back on the inside from Ian Watson, they were always in trouble. And that's a good step to finish it off. A vital try midway through the second half. Will that be enough to knock the stuffing out of this Wakefield outfit?
Well, Danny Arnold is enjoying a new lease of life under Carl Harrison. He got a try here against Wakefield last month, by the way. And now Graham Holroyd. There's the try scorer, Arnold, formerly with St Helens, Castleford and Oldham. And here's Holroyd now with arguably one of the most important kicks of his season. And he's missed it. 12-9. The coaches employing their players to come up with the goods.
Well, they see Ian not going across, and watch the step. See how the sliding defence was caught in, and once they sucked in the prop forward Paul Jackson, it was a wonderful inside pass from Watson. Alka and this fella finish it off. How important could that be for the survival of the Salford side?
Well, Danny Arnold has played in St Helens teams that have won championships and cups.
He won't score one as vital as that, Eddie, if it means the difference between Salford staying in Super League.
Alka, the dummy half. Baines, they came to meet him then. Jackson was there, and also there very, very quickly was Jamie Field. They got him down. Here's Andy Coley.
Now the Salford red side, they've got to have that composure, make sure that this kick is good, but more importantly, make sure that the chase is good. They've split the fullback and the winger. That's what they were looking for, and the chase is superb.
But so is the run from Holland. He did well to get past the first line then, and Wainwright with the tackle. Here's Dion Bird again, trying to crash through Alka, who stood his ground. He's a nutty, nuggety little character, is Malcolm Alka. 23 years of age. He's got the heart of a lion. David March.
Never mind one, maybe two or three. Just never gives up, does he? And he knew exactly what Watson was going to do with the inside pass. Came at the very superb moment. Take the ball and make the gap.
Vowles and Bird, both of those could have been called forward. The kick over the top. That's very, very good play from Frew. He's going to score. Well, he can't go. He can't go for forward passes. It was a very unkind bounce for the Salford defence.
Check the ground in, please.
Well, there's nothing. He's checking for the grounding, but there's nothing there. This is TRY. And I'm with you, Eddie. Maybe the first one wasn't too bad, but I thought the last one from Bird was definitely forward. Took the risk and it got the bounce. They hesitated and flicked it on.
He just fly hacks it forward.
Yeah. I'm not so sure that Wainwright actually got fingertips to it to propel it backwards anyway. Nothing wrong with this. That's try time. And Mr. Frew, yet again, scored the first try for the Wildcats.
They're asking about the push in the back. I don't think there's anything in that.
No. Wainwright was very slow to drop onto that ball. He should have been snapping at it. And this is a good opportunist try. And the Wildcats. Oh. I don't know how your nails are.
Well, one try in 15 games before today for Andrew Frew. 2 tries tonight for Andrew Frew. And the Wildcats have bounced back immediately. And Carl Harrison's face tells its own story.
Well, he'll be disappointed that the touch judge on that far side didn't pick up the forward pass. You thought this one was. I thought that was all right. It was a borderline decision by the touch judge. I must say that Russell Smith had a long, hard look at the touch judge on that left-hand side. No flag went up, so all I can say...
Well, Davis now is kicking because Ian Knott is off the field. This fellow needs 4 points for 900 in the British game. And he has kicked that. And the Wildcats regain the lead.
Well, a controversial try.
Well, there were two dubious passes, and that was the most dubious.
And it was forward on that camera angle. But you test your luck. That's forward. The touch judge was in a wonderful position. And he missed it. I wouldn't be that touch judge if Mr. Carl Harrison had a few words to say after the game. It's all so tense here.
It is. You can cut the atmosphere here with a knife. And this is Adrian Vowles for the Wildcats. Davis, the dummy half. Here comes Slattery. And, well, Carl Harrison is knowing the pain of coaching in the Super League at the wrong end of the table.
Well, it's so fine, Eddie, isn't it? Up to one touch judge not to see that.
Well, there were two with huge question marks over. The two.
Well, I thought the first one was okay, but the last one definitely was forward.
Another great kick, a hanging kick from Davis. He's the one who reacts. It bounces off the head. It bounced off the head of Damien Gibson. Martin Moana offside then.
Doesn't matter. He didn't realise it. Nice high kick from Davis. It looks he's got a blue sash around his shirt. Well, it's not over this by a long chalk. There's still plenty of time to go.
So tense. And there's going to be more tense matches for these two before the end of the season. Told you in the first half they play Halifax, Wakefield. They play Halifax and Warrington, rather, each of them before the end of the season. So they have a lot of similar matches to this. David March doing well, but Holroyd did well to get it away to Watson.
It's a good move by Carl Harrison to bring this guy out onto the field of play. He's got plenty of skill. He's a good creative player.
Treacy running flat.
He was looking for runners back on the inside, none forthcoming.
Wakefield have had just two penalty. Crucial penalty.
Surely they'll go into the corner.
Oh, it's a penalty to
the
Wakefield.
other way. Well, how on earth is he given that? I know he's got to regain his feet, but there's Treacy. Now, he's got to regain his feet before he puts the ball down. Oh, come on, that's a bit pedantic. I know he did into him. Well, he has paid the price of just losing his marbles at a critical moment. He does grab at Davis's leg. Sorry, not Davis, Slattery.
Well, I was about to tell you that Wakefield have only won 2 away matches all year at London and Castleford. They're on the verge of something here.
Well, it's an amazing fact that Salford actually took the lead.
Great run! That's Feather again.
He's got a big game.
Catching the eye, so is Davis. From that penalty, Wakefield with the opportunity here with Vowles. Wide it goes to Slattery again.
You get the feeling if the Wildcats cross here, the heads may go down in the Salford red side.
Bird to Davis. Here's Martin Moana. Came back on the inside and found his fullback, Martin Holland.
He's got through a lot of work as well, not only in attack but also in defence.
Moana again, Davis. The runner was Jackson.
Oh, what a hit there. Andy Coley came in, finished him off.
Knock on. And knock on, says Russell Smith, with Wakefield underneath the Salford post.
That'll be a relief for the Reds. Still plenty of time, and I'm sure that Carl Harrison will get the message out and say, come on, do not panic. He just lost control. No, I didn't see it, but according to Russell Smith, he said he lost control.
He did. I think he got a call from the touch judge, but Russell was about 10 metres away, the touch judge over the other side of the field. How do they see that and they don't see forward passes?
Oh, don't get me on that. I'll never sleep tonight.
Well, I don't know whether Carl Harrison will if Salford lose this. Here's Gibson.
Well, he's the type of player that can pull it out of the back for Salford. And they've got to start being a little bit more adventurous now, turning and twisting in the tackle. It's all hands to the pumps now.
Well, Carl Harrison said last night that if they did lose here, it wouldn't be the end of the world, but it will be very, very difficult for them.
Well, they're very close to the edge if they do lose today.
Watson, Holroyd, a dab over the top, inviting the run from Arnold, who's pretty quick. Salford, though, gets there and does well.
Big smile all over his face, Salford.
Well, Salford then impeded Danny Arnold, who was looking to make the tackle.
Well, not only the pressure on the players, but also on the officials here. As Eddie's just mentioned, you know, he misses a forward pass and then sees something 30 yards away. It's amazing. Tension.
Here's Slattery, who has also had a big game. He was originally named to start on the bench tonight, but he began the match with a run-on spot. Davis again just pumps the ball downfield.
Again, the experience showing there from the stand-up, or I should have said the halfback, Brad Davis. But they've got to make sure the kick and chase is good.
Now Alan Hunt has got some space ahead of him. Oh, what an awful pass. And it's Martin Moana. And now it's Salford.
He did the right thing, Salford. He took that ball standing still and made sure that there was no chance of him going over the whitewash. Now then, will they press forward and go for the 1 point? I think it's an option that I would be looking for.
Gareth Ellis to his feet, plays the ball to David March. Here is Chris Feather. Good drive from Chris Feather.
Oh, it's created so many problems for the Salford defence.
And it's David March waiting. Here is Davis. Now it's with Vowles. The call was from Holland. Holland will straighten it up. And Salford somehow survived the third tackle. There's still 3 to go for Wakefield. Dion Bird. Back to Davis. He wants the 1-pointer. He'll take it. The referee's not sure whether it went across the top of the bar. Just wants Dave Campbell, the video referee, to make the decision for him.
Well, I think all the players realised that it did. And there it is. No problem. And then there's quick thinking. There's the ball this side of the post. That'll be 1 point, and a valuable one at that as well. He really has controlled things out there. There's confirmation.
Drop goal is given, the extra point to the Wakefield total, and it's Brad Davis's 24th drop goal of his long career. 16-12.
Well, it's
still not home, and
no,
certainly not hosed.
Yeah, but that 1 point dragged them 4 points clear.
Shallow kick-off from Holroyd, and he's caught it on the full as Reardon.
What a take!
You know, I saw Salford at Warrington recently, and Warren Jowett had the chance to do that. He dropped it, and Warrington went on and won the match. Now then, is this the chance for Salford to go on and win this one? Alka. Baines will drive it in. They went a bit high on Baines.
Now then, what can Watson conjure up?
It's with Watson, and Watson taking them on himself. Gets them to within 4 meters of the line. Struggling to get to his feet. Alka forced back by this Wakefield defence on the last tackle. Watson again to Holroyd. Stabbed to the in goal. And that went dead through the legs of Salford. Well, he told us last night he's not sleeping. I don't think he's eating much. Carl Harrison is going grey by the day. Such is the pressure of coaching life at the wrong end of the table.
Picture tells 1,000 words, doesn't it? Salford, very, very relaxed when that was going through. He's pretty confident he was going to go over the whitewash. Just a little bit too strong from Graham Holroyd. You keep mentioning the fact, Eddie, that these coaches, they go grey very, very quickly.
They grow old. They put a year on every match.
They certainly do, and I did mention on the midweek show when we had Paul Cullen there,
well,
there isn't a grey hair showing.
Does Paul Cullen know what he's let himself in for?
Oh, he knows all about it, don't worry.
He'll find out at 3 o'clock tomorrow.
I think he knew exactly what he was doing when he first went up to Whitehaven.
Moana, And here oh, now then, was that knocked back? It went backwards, it did, so play on. Gareth Ellis. It was almost a mistake from Jamie Field, and it's knocked down to 0 in the tackle count. Davis with another 1-point attempt. It wasn't the best. Reardon collects it. And Dion Bird led the chase.
Well, it surprised me that they went for the drop goal so far out. They really could have just driven it a little bit closer to the mark. And it's at that stage now where Salford, they've got to take the chances.
And Wakefield are really digging deep. They really are. This is Reardon again.
Bit of tribute to both these sides. They're out on their feet, I can assure you.
Holroyd. And he gave it the big hoof. He was looking maybe for the 40-20. Holland is safe under those. And Martin Holland will run it back.
Up the jumper time now. He knows the seconds are ticking away. This is where some of the players, when you're in possession, it's amazing how they pick up injuries. Very slow to play the ball.
Strong run. Well, I wonder if either of these two sides can see the finishing tape ahead of them, Phil.
I think it's important the way the Wakefield are playing. They're not just sitting back at that lead, they're still going at it, although in this final few minutes, as you say, eyes glancing at the clock and realising that with that 4-point advantage, they don't need to score, they just need to keep on playing though. And they're certainly doing that. Just look at those strong runs, really. Every time they gain 8 to 10 metres, just gets them so far away from danger and close to the Salford line.
Yes, Broadbent with another one here. And Broadbent thought about offloading that.
Well, another drive. No, it's on the last. Oh, he's come up with a knock-on. Oh, Hanforth.
Paul Hanforth.
Don't kick it away, Paul.
Oh,
Kicked the ball away in frustration here.
Oh.
And the referee calls time off.
Well, he's very fortunate, you know, Eddie, that he's not sent to the sin bin. I've seen them being given their marching orders to the bench for that.
This is Baines. Wakefield know how much of a difficult customer he was in the opening 10 minutes or so. Good solid defence from Wakefield though. They really have battled hard if they're going to win this match.
Well, there's been a feature in the second half.
Alker, good tackle again. Jamie Field, and also there the number 18 Chris Feather.
They got caught out in the first half, Eddie, with using the sliding defence. They've now gone back of Wakefield onto a man-on-man marking.
Here's Watson.
Oh, he's lost it, or was it knocked down? Either way, it went back.
And then Watson tried to regather it and knocked it forward anyway. I think Wakefield are going to hang on here.
Still a long way to go, Eddie. About 3 sets of 6 each, I would say.
Andrew Frew, 2 tries tonight.
He's been the start of the show as far as try scoring has been. Took both chances exceptionally well.
Broadbent gets them almost to halfway. And this now is Hanforth again.
Wasn't going to lose that time. Made sure he held possession.
Dion Bird. Dion Bird again on the break. Now he's got support this time. He finds Davis, and Davis goes in for the try that will keep Wakefield above Salford at the foot of the table, and could, come the end of the season, send Carl Harrison down with the Salford City Reds to the Northern Ford Premiership. It'll be a 3-point gap at the end of this now.
Well, Dion Bird will be a very relieved man indeed. Remember, early in the second half, he made the same sort of break through the dummy, got caught by Damien Gibson. He went right underneath 2 very poor attempts, but he knew that Davis was going to be there. He didn't do it the first time, but boy oh boy, he made sure he was going to do it on the second. Yep, 2 valuable points for the Wildcats, and it's gloom and doom, I'm afraid, for Salford. They really had to win this game, I feel, for them to avoid relegation.
They're a very proud club. They've been around for a long, long time. But these players, they could be taking this once proud club that was at one stage the talk of the town. In the David Watkins era, this was the place to be on a Friday night. But right now, it's all about Wakefield and the Wildcats. And that 10-point lead, I feel, will be enough for Shane McNally. And McNally, a man who was a player in Brisbane, came on the 1983 Queensland tour of the United Kingdom. And there's a former Great Britain international, Carl Harrison, looking disconsolate. But it's going to be McNally's night, the goal-kicking hooker from the Brisbane Easts, who, with the 1999 Man of Steel, Adrian Vowles, is working the miracle and trying to keep the Wakefield Wildcats up. But hang on, it ain't over yet.
Well, 10 points is a lot to ask from, and that's going to be a penalty. Get it into the corner, don't mess around.
They take it quickly. It's with Alker. Alker is wrestled to the ground. Watson.
They need to score off this set of 6.
Heighton plays the ball to Alker. Alker to Watson again. Watson flicks the ball at the back door. Blakely. Alker waits. Blakely's hurt. Baines was the dummy runner. It's Holroyd. It's Alan Hunt. It's Danny Arnold. The lifeline appears. Second try for Arnold. They want to get the conversion taken quickly.
Well, wasn't a doubt about the final pass, but it was good, quick hands from Alan Hunt that supplied the pass for this fella. As soon as he put the ball down, picked it up again and said, let's get to it. Yeah, it was all right. Hunt had moved forward. Part of the momentum rule. What great hands there. They got caught out wide. And Arnold says, pick up the ball, come on, let's get on with it. Into the dying seconds. Well, who would have thought it?
Holroyd with a big kick. And Holroyd has missed. Second kick he's missed tonight. 22-16. It's a converted try. And McNally, about 2 minutes ago, thought he was celebrating victory. He's looking anxiously up at the big screen to see how long is left. I can tell him 2 minutes, that's all.
Well, I think he knows he's safely got 1 point in the bag. And maybe that could be sufficient. Now then, it's got to be a deep kick from Davis. Maybe a grubber, or is he going to be a high one? It's the height.
And this is Salford's last big chance. Less than 2 minutes to go. They need a converted try for a point. Carl Harrison staring down the barrel of 6 consecutive defeats. Baines on the run. The pass wayward. Arnold managed to pick it up. They've got to keep the ball alive.
Yeah, they've got to risk it, Eddie.
Well, it might as well be 6 or 60 now.
Yep.
That they lose by. Baines, and they change the direction of the attack again. Blakely. Holroyd called for it and got it. It goes wide to Reardon. And Reardon.
Oh, he did well to keep in then. How close is he there to the whitewash? He's got cramp. They're saying, come on, play the ball. Maloney says, get on with it.
Well, he didn't even attempt to play the ball, then he couldn't. And they offload the ball again. And here comes Gibson. And Gibson attacking.
He can't believe it. Neither coach can.
Maloney. Flick pass again. Picked up by Baines. On it goes to Holroyd. Here is Alan Hunt. Alan Hunt then to Darren Treacy. Treacy gets it away to Holroyd. And Holroyd is tackled. They've got 2 left.
Jamie Field got it well. They're telling him to go back.
Watson to Alker. Alker! He's got Danny Arnold with him. It's Alker. Now it's Watson underneath the post, they say. Chances for a draw. Unbelievable. Unbelievable from Salford.
Never say die attitude, and full credit to them. If ever there was a game that deserved a point each, this is it. They have given their all. It was gloom and doom and happiness on that face, but gloom and doom for Carl Harrison, and surely they won't miss this. But I've seen it before. Watson was at the heart of it, and so was Alker. He's had a big match as Alker. Look at this, he just run himself to water. The man who started it off, Watson, got as near as he could, and talk about pressure. He's normally pretty spot on, is Graham Holroyd. But you talk about the pressure, they tried everything. Alka deserved the medal, so does Watson, but is it going to be at least half the glory?
Well, Graham Holroyd has got to settle the nerves. This kick for a point for Salford, and who knows? He's kicked it. They've battled their way back for a point. It's 22-all. 5 minutes to go. Shane McNally's men had the match in their hands at 22-12. Salford, with Arnold's try and Watson, came back from somewhere, and Holroyd added the extra goal. That means we have a share of the spoils here at the Willows, and I agree with Steve-O. These two sides deserve a point each. It's as you were at the bottom of the table. Salford will stay there, but a point is better than nothing, obviously. But for Adrian Vowles and the Wakefield Wildcats, it was theirs. It was on a plate. They had a 10-point lead with 5 minutes to go. Salford looked doomed. Salford looked on their way out of the Super League. From somewhere, they dredged up a recovery, and 2 tries in 3 minutes at the end of the match means that we have a final scoreline here at the Willows of 22 points apiece. A fantastic match in many, many ways, full of drama from start to finish. Know that they